What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be giving my review of Trippie Redd. Now I will give a brief summary review of this, so if you don't want to see a full detailed one, there will be a brief summary one in the new this week, but at least for this video I'm going to actually be diving into the album and really just giving my honest thoughts and opinions on the album. Now, I was really hyped for Trippie Redd. I was waiting for it all summer, and I was really hyped when it was confirmed to be dropping sometime in August, and then once the album finally came out, I honestly was a little disappointed with it, but I still do like the project. This album is definitely too much rage for me. I would say the only main issue with this, to me at least, is one, I can't really listen to the album like in its entirety or just time after time or song after song just because it's too much rage for me. I'm just not a huge fan of the rage stuff like song after song. It's alright every now and then, and I do like some of these songs. It's just overall I can't listen to rage over and over and over, so that makes this project really hard to listen to from start to finish, for me at least. And the second thing is, there's just not a lot of tracks on here that do stand out to me. There's definitely a few that really stand out, but for the most part, even just looking at the track list, I don't even remember exactly what songs are which, just because I never really got too into the album and not a lot stand out to me. I would say some of my favorite standout tracks on the album are definitely basically the starting part of the album. Molly Hearts, MP5, Finish Line, Supercell, those are definitely my top tier favorite songs, and then probably New Money. Those are definitely my favorite songs on the album. But as the album goes on, it really just gets into a point where they're just rage songs that sound the same to me, and I'm just not a huge fan of it. I definitely don't hate on rage music. I like Fago, I like Whole Lotta Red, if you even consider that rage. And this album's not bad. I really don't think it is. You guys will hear my official rating or score of it out of 10 at the end of the video, but regardless, there's just not a lot of tracks on here that stand out to me. I was not a huge fan of Holy Smokes when that released as a single, but Mr. Rage I was really hyped for, and I was a big fan of that. Demon Time with Ski Mask, I'm not a huge fan of. Matt Hardy 999, it's not that I don't like this new beat. I think that the new beat definitely brought a new life to it, and I mean, they obviously had to change the beat to fit the theme of the album, so I'm not complaining about the new beat, but I'm not really going to go out of my way to listen to this version. And then Danny Phantom with X, just not a huge fan of it. I think that they definitely did this one better than they did with Matt Hardy, but overall I'm just not really a fan of Danny Phantom or Matt Hardy. I still prefer the originals for both of those. Vibes, Space Time, Baki, iPhone, they're all just songs to me that I don't really even remember what they sound like. Same with Supernatural. I'm not saying that they're bad songs, I'm just saying that I've listened to the album at least 2 or 3 times at this point, and I've been listening to my favorite songs a few more times than that, but just none of those tracks at least stood out to me the first couple listens. And then the way the album ends off with Rich MF, this song really was just on here, I feel like, to kind of help have a really good single on the album that could do something on the rap charts, and especially with the Polo and Dirk feature on it. Now, it's not that I'm not a fan of the song. I think that the flow is really unique and that the song starts off really good. The problem with the song is that it's 4 minutes and that Trippie carries the same flow basically from this entire chorus, which I know that's pretty standard, but just the flow after a while gets super repetitive, boring, and at some points, to me at least, kind of annoying. I don't really go back to this song a lot. I think Polo and Dirk both did their things on it. I think Dirk probably did the best on this beat out of all 3 of them, but regardless, it's just not a big standout track for me. And then Captain Crunch I am a fan of. I think that nobody got carried on that song. I would say that everybody did their own thing on there. Trippie, all the features. I really don't have a problem with Captain Crunch. I liked the snippet to that song, and I think the song is good overall, and it's definitely a good standout track that's on this album that I think is getting slept on. But overall, there's just not a lot on this album. The same thing with Betrayal. I don't think that the song's bad. I think that Drake did his own thing at the beginning of his verse. I don't really think that his verse went on to be the best Drake verse we've ever heard or anything like that. I don't think it was anything special at all. I think it started out really cool, and then it just started kind of getting boring with all the pauses and the flow, and it just kind of ruined the track for me, and I've only went back to listen to this maybe 2 or 3 times. Overall, Trippie Redd isn't a bad album. I would say that it might age really well. If this rage trend really does kick off and have its own thing, Trippie definitely helped pave the way for it by getting Fago on here and everything, and he definitely has a big opportunity if this type of music takes off. He can keep going down this lane because he already has a full project of this music out, but if the rage music doesn't stick around for long, then Trippie just has a full album out with songs like this that I don't think are going to age that good. But I do have to give Trippie props for something. He always does something different with his projects, especially these standout projects. I would say Exclamation Mark was probably the most safest project that Trippie's ever released, just in regards of an actual project, not counting the A Love Letter to You mixtapes. But overall, Trippie Night does stand out on its own, and I think it really does kind of bring something new to the table. And if you are into this kind of music, or you want to get into this kind of music, this is definitely the album to do that with, or at least a good starter, especially if you were already a fan of Trippie. But regardless, this album just isn't for me necessarily. I'm just not a huge fan of this rage trend that's been going on lately. Like I said, a couple songs every now and then are alright, but a whole project like this just doesn't really do anything for me. Now, I would probably give this album a high 7, not too low, not too high, because there are those standout tracks on there, like I said, that I do go back to listen to basically every day. How long will that last? I'm not sure, and once those songs kind of start falling off for me and I'm not listening to them as much, I might even lower my ranking of the album, but I would give it a solid 7 out of 10. But let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with me? Do you not? Do you think this is Trippie's best project? Do you not like it at all? Let me know in the comments down below. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.